Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing phenomenally. Welcome to Tolton Art. I am a full-time artist here and a YouTuber that shows you hopefully cool paintings and gives you business advice. So if this is something that you're interested, make sure to like and subscribe, and then you can see all of my current videos. So with that out of the way, let's get into some of the biggest mistakes I think that I have made in my art career. One of the first mistakes would be waiting too long to further my education. I didn't officially get like a bachelor's degree in art. I got one in science and never really took or wasn't maybe really allowed to take art seriously in that regard. So I just didn't. I never took a class until this year. And if you're interested in seeing kind of my art school journey, I'll leave the link to the videos up here. And the error lies in that I waited so long to go back to school. One could argue that that was just part of my process and that I needed to kind of come to this point. And the answer is yes. But retrospectively, I wish that I had even just taken like small courses even a few years ago, but I don't know that I was even good enough then. Like I think my confidence would have just been plummeted because I lost a lot of skill in not doing it for a while. So maybe it was perfect. And I'm here now investing in my art career and art education. My tip to you is that don't prolong it. If you feel like you have missing links in places, there's a lot of really good online schools, courses, and some of them are very expensive. Some of them are not very expensive. Just do your research, but invest in your own education. That's going to be huge. The other big mistake I think that I've made is that I was in too much of a hurry. Always. Like the last 3 years, I was like, I'm not creating enough artwork. I'm not creating big enough artwork. Like, it's just my output is not what I want it to be. It still isn't, but I was just kind of neurotic and hard on myself in wanting to make this like so much more artwork. It made me kind of create some really crappy art. I'm not gonna lie. There are some pieces that I've made that I'm just like, oh, why? Why did I do that? And the answer is because I was in too much of a hurry. I was so fixated on the end result and getting it out there and getting it on Instagram and selling it that like I completely neglected the fact that the artwork needed more time or just needed to be scrapped. But I was in such a hurry to get to my final destination that I just kind of bulldozed some really important things. What I have taken from all previous businesses is that the slow route is the right route. What you learn in building a business slowly and organically will not only mitigate a bunch of problems, but it ends up being, again, just kind of a more intuitive and perfectly fit business to you. The more you rush it, the more I think people end up making these decisions for their business for rapid growth, rapid money. And then by the time they get to that point, they're like, oh my God, I don't even want to be doing this anymore. Or like, we've completely lost sight of how we started or where we started and what our entire intent was. And I think when you go the organic and slow route when growing a business, you go through ebbs and flows of the economy. And so you can kind of take that time to be like, okay, what's selling well now? What's not selling well? And you can kind of pivot. There are things that you learn in yourself and about your business that when you do it slowly and incrementally, it's gonna end in a business that's way more catered to you, and it's just going to fit with you. That's not to say it's always going to be a joyride, because business is anything but a joyride all the time. Yeah, don't get in a hurry. In a lot of ways, it doesn't serve you. Just take your time and you will your business will get to where it needs to be. Just make one decision at a time, like slow, small decisions with the time, with what you have. Improve what you can when you can afford it, and it's just gonna all come together way better. The other mistake that I made was too many avenues. Oh my gosh, I was so hell-bent on growth and reach. I mean, I was on YouTube, I was on Etsy, I had my website, I was on Patreon. I was on Instagram, I was on TikTok, I was on Pinterest. I also had a photography website, and all of these things, like, I literally was running myself ragged. I don't even know if that's the right saying, but I was running myself to the ground. I was doing so many things that I couldn't do one thing well. All of them felt half-assed, sorry, but all of them felt half-assed because so much needed to get done, and each one of those avenues can take almost a full-time effort. You can put 100% of your effort into just one of those and maximizing them, let alone trying to do all of those at one time. And so kind of Patreon was the one that put me over the edge, because I was like, I want to create really good monthly content for people that people like, but at the same time I was also doing YouTube videos that were separate, and there was like twice as many videos to edit on top of like still needing to create artwork, and I was doing way too much, so nothing was good. I felt like my artwork wasn't good, I wasn't making good videos, I wasn't taking good photos, I wasn't putting out enough content on Patreon. And even if I did manage to keep up with it, then my relationship with my husband was like, I just didn't have time for him, and it just was too much, and that's not what balance looks like or feels like. So I cut out a lot of things. I cut out Patreon, I cut out TikTok. I really, really maximize my effort to YouTube, Instagram, and creating artwork. Really, those are my three main ones, and in doing that, I can like actually take the time to thoughtfully do those three. Don't do too much. Just take on what you can, what you're actually interested in doing, and try to maximize and master those areas. Kind of along the lines with that as well was that, and this is my last point, was that I definitely fell into the trap of thinking more financially than intuitively. And while a lot of you are probably gonna say, well, that's great. Yes, because businesses need to make money, hopefully. That's kind of the whole point of them, is to make money. I was thinking like so financially that I was just kind of, again, just like losing sight and also spreading myself thin, because I was like, well, I need to have stickers. I need to have a digital product. I need to have small scale prints. I need to have large scale prints. I need to be creating originals. I need to, what are some other things that I did? Have like, again, ebooks, and essentially, like, perfect example, my decision to make stickers was like, well, that's a really easy buy-in, so like that's another market that I can tap into. While in theory, yes, that's great. I think if you're really, really being a thoughtful artist, and this is kind of art-specific advice because I don't think this applies to all businesses, but in the creative pursuit, if you have too broad of an audience, I think you can kind of become distasteful to the other audience. So for example, the people that are going to show up and want to buy stickers are probably going to look at the price of an original painting and be like, who does this girl think she is? Like, what in the world? And same goes for any high-end luxury art buyers that are going to be willing to spend top dollar on something. If they see that I'm selling stickers, they're probably going to be like, tacky. This girl is tacky. And that like immediately makes me not want to spend money, a lot of money, on her artwork. I'm not saying that this happened. This is kind of a hypothetical situation. And that's not to say that all buyers feel that way. But I think in having too broad of a market. If you're creating content that like your sticker buyers want, it's gonna be like cute and happy and like bubbly, again, hypothetically. And that's not necessarily the same vibe that you want to give your high-end buyers. Just be authentic. Pick the one that means the most to you, that you feel like does the best, that you still like doing. You can still think financially in the sense of, again, mixing in a bit of what sells, but also what you want to create if they don't match up perfectly. But yeah, don't get too financially bogged down that you lose sight of the genuine art that you're trying to create. That's kind of the end of my tips. Let me know if you think I missed anything. Also, this kind of got me thinking that maybe I could make a video on different forms of marketing and marketing to a luxury market. If that's something you're interested, leave that in the comment below. I would, we could definitely make that video. I just want to know if you guys are interested in anything like that. Anyways, I hope you found this helpful. Let me know what you liked, didn't like, and if you want to see more of those videos. And as always, I can't wait to see you in the next one.